Good morning! I am doing my first video. Yes, I am female. My Sona is male, and there's nothing wrong with that. I went on to Amino and I asked my followers, what do you want to ask me? So I've got a few questions here. Some of you asked several questions, so if I just start asking questions without telling you who asked it, it's probably the person I mentioned before. Let's roll right into this. Rook B asks, what made you choose your persona? For those of you who don't know, Eli is a Mantle Panther hybrid. A lot of people think he is a saber-tooth. That's not the case. I know it's probably because he's got the teeth and the tiny tail, but no. My first persona was actually a fox. Yeah. When I was first making my characters as a kid, I was really into Redwall, and so my first character was naturally a fox, and I was like super stoked about it. But then when it came down to making my Sona the person that I would be as in the fandom, I was like, I don't want a dude character, and I want a grump character. Because those were just two things that I just was not. And it just seemed like such a fun thing to kind of bring to life. And I think Eli kind of exemplifies all of those traits that I kind of wish I had. You know, being more confident, being more out there. As far as his design, and I believe Thistle asked the same question, how did I come up with his design? I love the coloring of mandrills, and they have such a bright muzzle. They've got this awesome mane of hair, which is where Eli's mane came from. He actually used to have a yellow and purple mane. He was actually originally a caribou, because caribou's kind of my spiritual animal, so to speak. And so I had this mandrill colored caribou. It was super grumpy. I was like, yes, that's it. And then a month later I was like, that's not working out. I actually had a friend at the time who was drawing me art of Eli, and it was taking forever. I'm like, hey, what's up? What's going on? And she said, I'm having a hard time drawing him. I just can't get caribou features right. I was like, well, you know, I haven't really been feeling too good about this species. Let's just make him like a panther. And that just popped into my head, and it stuck. It just, she drew him, and I was like, yes, this is the character, oh my god. He's gone through several small changes throughout, but this is his final design, and I'm very happy with him. The Skedaddle Doggo asked a few questions. Who are some of your favorite suit makers? I know Taylor isn't a suit maker, but the couple suits that she has made, I think she's working on one more, are really cool. As an artist, she has a really distinctive style, and that shows in her suit work. It's like her art just jumped right out into real life, and that is so freaking cool. Like, I wish I can do that, and I'm working on that. I love the non-Dutchy work that SkyPro does. She makes really cute suits, and I know that she is like the Dutch angel dragon person to go to. I mean, heck, she invented the species. Phoenix Nest makes great stuff. My good friend, that crazy dragon dog on Instagram, and I think has the same username on Amino and for Affinity. Follow her, she's awesome. She makes beautiful suits. I'm actually getting a partial from her later in the year. She's got gorgeous work, she's got like a nice range of style, and I'm really excited to see where she goes with it. What is your favorite song right now? I think I really like Major Lazer. And their song Light It Up has been like in a really special high up place in my heart right now. It always gets me into a good mood, which is nice. It's like always got me ready to go, and it's just super catchy, and the music video is just great. I just want to dance along to it. What is your favorite color? Gray. My favorite color is gray. Usually I would be recording like in my room or in the living room, but it's just a little too early in the morning for the light right now, and also I haven't unpacked since I moved 2 weeks ago. Con crunch. Slender and Hana asked quite a few questions. What are your favorite foods? I love Asian food. I love fish. So sushi is definitely a good place for me to be. But my absolute favorite food would have to be dumplings. Just, I don't care if it's American dumplings or Japanese pot stickers or whatnot. If it is a starch with a protein or something in it and it's been like steamed or boiled or fried, I just. Do you watch anime? If so, what are your favorites? I used to be a huge weeboo. I used to watch anime every night when I got home from school. I would just like play it on my desk while I was drawing. But some of my top favorites are Space Dandy, which you guys have probably seen on my profile quite a bit. I am a huge Space Dandy fan. It's my second favorite anime. Wolf's Rain is really great. It will tear your heart out of your chest. It is so sad, but it is really well done. Fooly Cooly has a very special place in my heart. I also love Eureka 7. It's kind of a little bit older, but it's got a really awesome storyline. It's kind of like Gundam. And then my top tier favorite, absolute like god status, oh my god I love it anime is Mawaru Penguin Drum. And that is because it is 150% symbolism. I'm actually a published poet and writer, so symbolism, like anybody who can do it well, I'm like, yeah, okay, let me learn from the masters. Mawaru Penguin Drum is so heart-wrenchingly beautiful. It's so full of imagery, it's so full of symbolism, and it will just tear your heart apart. Even the first time when you don't know what's going on, I love it. Dear God. Okay, I knew this question was gonna be asked. Who is your fursuit crush? Oh gosh. If we're just talking purely suits, Bakari's suit is beautiful. Like I was saying earlier, Taylor's style is so unique, so Taylor's definitely just, especially those feet, oh my god. It's great. My friend that I mentioned earlier, that crazy dragon dog who is the owner of Frozen Phoenix Fursuits, she has a suit called Stevie. And I love him to pieces. Like, he's adorable, he's creepy, he's awesome, and I just have such a soft spot for him. He's amazing. She made a great suit out of him. Kyborg Studios, great suits, but really anything that I see at a con that either has like animatronics that I haven't figured out yet, or like moving parts, or if it's just a species that I haven't seen done before, like a hybrid, those are the suits I go nuts about, because I'm a very technical brain when it comes to costuming. Like, I like to figure out how things work, I like to figure out how to make things that no one's seen before, and that's what's kind of helped me a lot in the cosplay community, is I like to tackle things that not a lot of people have done. So figuring out how things can move and work and light up and like breathe smoke, I'm super just drawn to those kinds of things. What is your goal in life? No pressure, that's a big question. I mean, ideally to get old. I've got a lot going on in my life right now, and I'm still kind of trying to figure out what path I'm taking, but as far as what I know for sure that I want to accomplish is I want to bridge the gap between furry and cosplay, and simply because it seems like the two fandoms are kind of separate from each other. There's not as much of a dialogue as you think that you would see between two groups of nerds who like to dress up and go to conventions and get drunk and lose your keys and sleep in the hallway. But I digress. I would love to start a dialogue. We're all here to dress up. We're all here to be nerds. We're all here to have fun. Like, I would like to see more of an understanding, and foster kind of a community between the two. Favorite furry YouTubers. I try to follow a wide amount of furry YouTubers, whether they're in suit or not. One of the biggest ones that I'm actively following is For Media. They kind of talk about a whole wide range of subjects, which is something that I would love to be able to do myself, is kind of open up the world and open up the door to not just furry, but to start that dialogue like we were talking about. I've just started following Rain and Chaos. She's adorable and she makes great videos. Lou the Dragon is hilarious. Kari, I'm an avid follower just because I can just relate so much to so many issues she brings up. I often will just look up con panels for cons like AnthroCon that I can't go to, and most of the time I end up watching filmed sessions of like Uncle Kage's Story Hour, or like some of his panels about, you know, wipeouts or furries ruin everything. Just those are always just so awesome to listen to, and they're perfect to listen to while I'm working because I don't have to watch. I can just listen, and it's like a podcast. I can just tune in. So I listen to a lot of recorded panels. And the final question from Slender and Hana: would you rather be a famous fursuiter or a famous furry artist? Being a fursuit maker, I only have a couple years of experience, but I do kind of feel like I have the best of both worlds in this situation, where I can either be known for the work that I put out, so the art part, or I could be known for a suit that I make. I'm personally an ambivert, but I tend to lean more into the introverted side of things, meaning I prefer to stand back. I prefer to draw and to write and to create kind of back here. And as much as I love to perform, and as much as I get into character when I am in cosplay or in suit or in whatnot, I do find it a lot easier for me to just be an online presence rather, but I wouldn't be opposed to either one. Nintendoge asks, how did you get into the fandom, and are you planning to ever get a suit? Story time. So when I was growing up, I was way into the Redwall books. And those were books with like talking medieval mice and badgers and foxes. I loved those books. I was a voracious reader, and anything with anthro characters after being introduced with that, I just gravitated towards. And for a while there was a Redwall show on that I loved. There were a lot of anthro shows coming out because they were like, kids like animals. And one of the first video games I was actually ever introduced to other than Pokemon was Sly Cooper. And I'm actually over here on the table working on my Sly Cooper cosplay, her FanX 2017 in Salt Lake. That was one of the first video games I was ever exposed to, and it was one of the first furry things I was ever exposed to. And watching this character, I just was like, oh my god, this is so cool. You know, it reminded me of those Disney movies, of Robin Hood, of Lion King, and it was in a more modern light, and it was really cool just to see these characters. So I kind of started making my own. I started like writing my own worlds, making my own characters. I remember one of the first ones was a white lion. That's creative. A white lion who had to go on this epic quest to go find his destiny. And you know, I grew up in kind of a tumultuous home life, and I haven't exactly had an easy go of things, so growing up I found that writing helped me out a ton. It helped me kind of get out of my shell in the outside world, but it also kind of helped me protect myself in a way. It was a huge coping mechanism. That being said, I would immediately just pull myself into my art and my writing and just explore these worlds. And my parents were like, it's great that you've got this, but you should maybe focus on the real world a little bit. And, you know, sometimes they just kind of poke a little fun at me, like, oh, she likes talking animals. And I kind of took that as something to be embarrassed embarrassed about. All I ever wanted was my parents' approval, especially since we were going through a lot. I just wanted to be the kid that was taken care of. And so I kind of just tucked that away after a while. Even when I was in my sophomore Spanish class and I sat between two very, very out there, open furries. But honestly, they really started the dialogue with me. They were talking up the fandom, they started introducing me to these different YouTubes, into these different shows, into different media. And then one of them started making suits. She was the artist I mentioned earlier, that crazy dragon dog. She started making suits, and I was like, I want to be in one of those suits. I want to be in this community. And when I got into college, it all just kind of just exploded, and I got really into it. And you know, the world didn't cave in on me. And I think what really helped me open up about it was being open to my parents about it, because I had that anxiety that they would think I would be even weirder. But at my first Comic-Con, which happened the summer before I went to college, I dressed up in a giant Skyrim werewolf costume. It had stilts, it had all of these crazy things going on. It was a digi-suit. My dad helped me build the stilts. My parents saw the hours and hours and hours I put into it, even after working, you know, a long shift at work. And they'd see me just light up, you know, like it helped my depression, it helped my anxiety. And seeing me just so excited about it, and seeing me at the con wearing this giant animal costume, my parents were like, yeah, she's out there, she's doing stuff, she's talking to people, she's having fun. And I think seeing my parents' approval of that really, really helped. And so I just started inundating all of my social media with furry trash. And so that's kind of how I got into the fandom. I can honestly mostly thank those two friends from Spanish class, so thank you. I love you guys. To answer the second question, am I ever planning on getting a suit? I got a quote on a partial from my friend actually a week ago, so I'm really excited. I'm hoping to be able to start paying that off in the next couple months and then have it at least paid off by my birthday this year, which would be so awesome and such a great like kind of gift to myself. So I do intend to have a partial at least to start out with, and then I might move on to a bodysuit. We'll see. I know I can handle a bodysuit, but I don't know yet. I want to see kind of where I want to take this character of mine. Ivory Phoenix asks, big cons versus small cons. That's a really, really good question, and I actually want to make a whole video of it later on. So if I ever figure out how to do notations and editing and stuff, I'll put a link to it right here. If not, I'll put it in the description down below. With big cons, you've got, you know, all of the days, you've got all of the celebrities, all the panels, all the meet and greets that you could want. They have such a huge event going on, and it's usually Thursday through Sunday. Sometimes it even starts Wednesday night. They have just every single thing you could possibly imagine. They've got all these events and contests, and this goes regardless of what con it is. Those are great if you just want to just go and have a great time. It's like a theme park, you know, and just kind of explore everything. It's a great way to get to meet those people that you've always wanted to meet, to get autographs. It's a great way to see those big name cosplayers or costumers or suitors. And really just like big cons are really, really well organized. They have to be. So there are a lot of pros to going to a big con. You know, there are more chances if you're staying in the hotel that you will not sleep, because there will be more people in the hallways getting drunk and having fun and losing their keys. Small cons are also great because you've got more of a local following going on. You won't have as long of a con sometimes. Maybe it'll be only Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And you won't have as many people going there or as many big name celebrities. But you will have kind of a more community-centered convention. If you want to get into cosplay or costuming, or if you want to get into certain niche groups, it's always great to look for cons in your area and then go on social media and look for groups that will either be attending or are interested in the same kind of things. And you can organize. So it's a great chance to get to know people in your community if you're local. It's a great chance to kind of see and poke your head in if you're not sure too. Put your toe in the water to kind of see what's going on. Do I like cons? Do I not like cons? Do I want to try a bigger con? So there's a lot of different things that go into it, and I'll definitely make a longer video about it. But those are just a few for now. Random newcomer, final question. Were you a professional before being introduced to the fandom, or did the fandom launch your artistic talents even farther? As I mentioned before, I'm a beginning maker, and I am also an artist. I'm a published artist. I am a professional illustrator. Right now it's my day job, which is really nice. Stressful, but nice. So I can definitely say my involvement with the fandom has for sure 100 times over helped launch me. If not just in my confidence, but in my ability to put out work and make a bigger portfolio. I had been looking for jobs on and off. I had been searching Craigslist, and I finally got a gig probably a couple months after I got an Amino. And it was a huge job. It was a $1,200 job that paid for my groceries and my rent and everything for a couple months. It set me up, and it really helped me out to be able to work. And that was off of Craigslist. That was outside of the fandom. So I think I have the caliber to be able to not just do furry, which is nice, but at the same time, if I hadn't gotten Amino, I wouldn't be paying my rent now. I wouldn't be able to do all the things that I can do right now, and that's really about you guys. I mean, I have almost 1,100 followers on there, and none of my other social media is nearly as big, and I can't thank you guys enough for following me, for encouraging me, leaving comments or likes, or even commissioning me. I mean, it just means the world to me, and I can't thank any of you enough. It's been a truly great experience. I mean, the Amino's got its ups and downs, but of course every big fandom is going to have those people. But I can say, as a whole, this community has helped me so much, not just in the department of confidence, but in being able to put myself out there. It has helped me out so much in my art and in my personal life. And at the end of the day, I think this fandom is a family, and I love all of my followers so much. I love all the creativity that comes from this fandom, all of the awesome things that we can do here, and I can't thank you guys enough. That's it so far for questions and answers. I hope this video wasn't too awkward. This is my third time taping it because I'm speaking as loud as I can right now, and I bet you I'm still really, really quiet on the video. I'm gonna work on that. If you like this video, please leave a like, maybe comment. It would mean the world to me if you subscribed as well. If you didn't like the video, please leave a comment on what I can work on, please. That'd be awesome. Yeah, I'm hoping to have either a time-lapse video of me making my cosplay for FanX, or an advice episode about big cons versus little cons within the next week or so. So please be on the lookout for that, and I'll see you in the next one.